Good afternoon, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome all of these watching on replay and those watching me on live. Oh, I'm hoping you guys are seeing me okay. My system seemed to be glitching a little bit there. So today we are going to be creating some boxes for some cookies that I've made. I've made Grinch cookies for my neighbors, and I have decided to make boxes, coordinating boxes for them. I did do a printout, and I made tags from the printout to give to each family. And it says, "Do not share, eat them all yourself, and tell no one. Merry Christmas, Dave and Judy." Hey, Melissa, welcome on. So we are going to be creating those. We are going to be using a couple stamp pads. I am using Poppy Parade and Granny Apple Green inks today. My 12 by 12 paper is Poppy Parade, so it may look like it is a little bit orangey on the screen, but it is more red. I've got some lemon lime twist and basic white, and we are going to be making decorating our panels with the Round We Go stamp set. So let's start by first decorating those panels. I'm going to grab my paper, my green paper here. It's off focus. Okay, hang on. So I'm moving it. Oh, now it's really off. Okay, that's as good as I can get it. That should be better. Is that better? Let me know. You're moving it? Oh, no. I'm watching on my phone too. Okay, yep, that's much better. Okay, so I'm going to take my 4 panels and we're going to decorate those with the 2 circles that are in the stamp set. So this bigger circle and the smaller circle. I am going to take a little bit of adhesive and attach these to my paper because I've already pre-cut them. Normally I would not cut my paper and stamp these because then I'm not as fussy with the stamping. How many of you are all ready for Christmas? Have all your packages wrapped, everything together, and all done? I just got one package in the mail this morning. I have to wrap that one, otherwise we're ready. Melissa, you're not ready? I did bake cookies this morning, but they're not cool enough to take off the rack and pack, so I have to wait to do those. I was hoping to be able to pack them for this live. So I'm going to take my Poppy Parade first, and I am going to put my ink pad down to the side because I am going to turn my paper as I stamp. I have a tendency of doing this when I am stamping multiple images for backgrounds because I don't want to sit here and concentrate on where my stamps are going. This way they're more random. I'm making sure I stamp off the edges of these. My paper just got hung up. So just keep circling. And do you see how I'm stamping on both sides at one time? Oops. Well, that wasn't good. Do that one again. And this one here. That's what's great about the photopolymer stamps is you can see through them. You wrap them as you need them. Oh my gosh. Most of the ones left are Christmas Day. Oh, I couldn't do that. I did that one year, Melissa, and I went batty. I try wrapping them as they come in, or as they come in, or as I purchase them, and I have a list. So because I found that sometimes I would buy a person more than one gift, and when the kids were small, I had to make sure that they all had the same amount spent. I told them, I says, somebody might get more gifts. That's just because their gifts were not as expensive as your gifts. Too lazy. Oh, I remember the days though that I would sit up Christmas Eve and be wrapping packages. Christmas Eve night. I was a manager at a grocery store for many years, and I used to work Christmas Eve and host Christmas Eve. Talk about hectic. I would get everything ready for my husband to stick it in the oven, or my mom would come early and she would make sure that things were being made. But I remember 2 years I didn't wrap gifts, and there I was at 3 o'clock in the morning wrapping my kids' gifts. It was just, I don't want to repeat that. Although this morning I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I could have been wrapping gifts. But Dave had gotten up because the dogs got up and he was watching TV. So I thought, well, you know what? I should go bake cookies. And he goes, well, I'm going to try to lay down on the couch and sleep. And I thought, crap, I have no place else to go and do things. Okay, so that's 4 panels stamped at once. So now we're going to adhere those to our cardstock. Now I could have used the Granny Apple Green cardstock, but I kind of went between the two. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to use a lemon lime cardstock and the Granny Apple Green ink. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these on here. Girl, I was supposed to point my mother-in-law gift and still haven't done it. Oh my gosh, Melissa. I know everybody was giving me a hard time the other day when I said I had one thing to do for a Christmas gift, an order, and everybody was giving me a hard time. And it's like, well, no, it's my son. It's okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use liquid glue. I'll use less of it. I've got all that done. Although Dave did say, hey, you know what? Could you paint this for so-and-so? I think we should give them something. And I looked at him and I said, no. He says, I've had all this time to do it. And now you decide that you want to make something. We're going to go buy something. Because he has to give things to neighbors and stuff. So we ran out this morning and got one gift. Not inspired, huh? Yeah. I got you there. It was hard for me to be inspired to get my mother-in-law gifts too. You know it's bad when your husband doesn't want to get her anything. Nothing was ever good enough. She always complained about everything. Okay, I do notice that there's a spot here that looks like it's empty. So I am going to stamp that. And how I'm going to do that, because I don't want to get any onto the green cardstock, I'm just going to put a Post-it note here just to protect that. And I'm just going to stamp a partial red one there. And see how that just filled that in? I think all the rest of them are pretty good. Oh, no, this one could use one down here. I'm kind of picky with the edges. I don't like that halo around the edge. Say hi as you guys come in. I know some of you are watching over on the tube. Okay. She has farm stand with eggs and cake pops and cookies and wants an open clothesline. Oh, that would be easy to paint. Oh, so those were hers. Was that you that posted some pictures that she fills them up in the morning and people come and buy them? And she was filling them up. I thought that was a great idea. I actually thought it might have been you. Okay, we have our panels done. We've got one more thing to do to these, but we're going to wait till the end. So now I'm going to get my cardstock out, and we're going to start scoring this. So we're going to start scoring it first. So I'm going to take off my cutting blade so I don't cut it. Because I know when I'm chatting sometimes, okay, come on out. If I didn't want it to come out, it would come out. There we go. So I'm leaving the light gray pad in, blade in. So we're going to score this at 3.5 inches. And we want good score lines. I share hers on here, but you may have seen. Oh, yeah, Stephanie's. She wants like flowers on it. Oh, I'm not good at flowers either. And that is one thing that I have decided I have to get good at. So that's 3.5. And then this is going to be 2 3/4. Okay, so that this is the bottom of the box, and our first score was the top of the box. Now I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, and I'm going to start scoring. So I'm going to score it at 2 7/8 because now you guys have seen me make the 2 4 6 8 box, but this cardstock is 8.5. I want this as close to 3 inches as I can, but I need a 1/2 inch here. So that's why I'm doing it 2 7/8 instead of the full 3 inches. So we're going to do it 2 7/8. Five 3/4. And then 8 5/8. And I forgot to do the last one. So hang on, I've got to do some math here. Forgot to list this. 2 7/8 is 10 and 12/8, which is 11. Ah, it worked out right. 11.5. So I've got that 1/2 inch at the end to close my box up. I did this last night. Oh, you need to share it. I don't know if or did you show it on Facebook? I'll have to check that. Okay, so we've got all those. Now I want to cut this piece off down here. So I'll take my paper snips and trim that off because we're not going to need that. And I'm going to do it at a slight V to that score line. So yeah, I was doing this last night over on TikTok, you guys, and everybody was gabbing and stuff so much. I was losing concentration. I'm surprised that they actually came out. Quite honestly. And I never did completely finish it because of all the chatter and stuff over there. Okay, so I cut those, and then when oops, I got one more. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to cut a little bit of a V in each one of these when I score it. I wish these snips were just a little bit longer. So I'm going to score or fold on that score line. And then I'm going to take my snips and just trim that just a slight little bit. And this is just so it closes. I'm going to fold on this score line and do the same thing. And on this one, and do the same thing. Okay, now we have this end that we have to trim just a tad bit. And that's just so that when we close our box, it doesn't hang over. Okay. Now, originally I had scored the bottom at 2 7/8, and I didn't like the way that looked. So that's why I did the 2 3/4. So we want to make sure that we go back on all these score lines and burnish them well. So when we go to fold this box up, we've got nice crisp lines and it's easy to fold. Okay, so we did all of those, and now we're going to go this way, and we want to burnish all these lines. And this is the bottom of the box. These are going to be so cute. Okay, then the top of the box. And you're going to notice I didn't cut on these score lines. Don't cut on those, you guys. We're making a box that looks like a milk carton. Okay, so I'm going to take this flat and I'm going to lay out all my panels and adhere them into each panel. So let's do that real quick. So I was at a local craft store the other day and came across some ribbon that I thought would be perfect for these. So I'm going to use that ribbon. I do have other ribbons I could have used that match exactly with our papers that I have previously bought, but I just love this ribbon. So we're going with it. There we go. How many of you make gifts for your neighbors? Let me know. We have a couple neighbors that we give more than cookies to because Dave doesn't think cookies are enough. Okay, now we're going to fold this here and we're going to fold this one here. And what that does is that lines up perfectly on that strip. Now I am going to put a little bit of tear and tape. I use both tear and tape and the glue for this. I just feel the tear and tape helps it adhere immediately. And I'm putting that tear and tape right along that fold seam. Okay, that way my flap doesn't open up. Okay, put this up right along that one. Okay, we need to burnish that. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and remove that tape up. And we're going to put glue in between here. Not much because we don't want it to squish out. We're going to put that down and we're going to press it well. Okay, so there is the box so far. I forgot to glue this. We're going to glue this up here too. It's going to hold good enough. Just going to press that down. Now, if you measured and scored correctly, your box should fold flat, you guys, like that. in any of the positions that you push it in. Okay, so you could make these ahead of time and store them flat. How fun would that be? Okay, so this is the back. This is where our seam is. So that is going to be the back of the box. So we're going to fold the back in and then each of our sides, and then we're going to adhere. Normally I would adhere glue and tear and tape here, but I'm going to wait until my cookies are made because I want to get the top of this done. So that is the back. We're going to take this and we're going to squeeze it in. Okay, just like that. Now, since I've left the bottom open, I'm going to staple the top shut. I get my staple. I forgot to bring it over here. So I'm going to staple this shut. And I'm just going to staple it right in the center. Okay, this is going to eliminate the pressure on that. Okay, but now I am going to take my hole punch and I'm going to punch a hole right next to that staple because we don't want to see that staple. Okay, then this is some of our old retired sparkly ribbon that we had quite a few years ago. I'm going to take that and I am just going to cut that off. This is what the tag is going to be attached to. I wanted to finish this so you guys could see it. I'm just going to tie it here. Okay, then look at this ribbon. Don't you think it's perfect? I'm going to take and cut off 5 inches. Okay, we don't need a really, really big bow. I'm going to take it, fold it in half, and I'm going to tail it. Just like that. And this one, this way. Okay. Then we're going to take and we're going to fold it. Just like that. And now I'm going to take another staple and I'm going to staple it. Whoops. Let me according it this way. So I'm just folding it back and forth. And I'm going to take a staple and just staple the center. If you had a hot glue gun, you could hot glue this together. I find that this works just as good. And that's going to be our bow. We're going to tie that around on here in a knot. Okay, so we're going to actually knot this on. And if it doesn't flap how you want it to, you could use your glue dots, guys. Okay, so there's our bow. And let me get our tag. Our tag is going to be tied onto that. But I have one more step. I have got a product that adds sparkle and glitter to these. So I'm going to go around and on every red one, I'm going to add this product on here. We used to carry something similar to this, but I used it all up. And because we don't carry it anymore, I can show it. I will not have it listed in my supplies though. But if you're a paper crafter, you know what it is. Okay, so got that. I'm going to do the green. And this is a green that's similar. And I've actually got one that's done, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm just doing little swirls on here. This is just to add a little bit of glitter and a little bit of special to it. This does have to dry, you guys, so you need to be careful with it. So when it's done, this is what it looks like. Can you see that shine there? A little bit of glitter. You could also add glue and glitter to it if you wanted. Okay, so when it's all done, I'm going to move this one. We've got this here. See, I've got some other ones already done. Add my glue, put this on. Now, this box is glued on the bottom, so what I'll do is I'll just tie that on there and do that up. But how this will look when it's all done, let me move this stuff off. Remember, this is still wet. What I do is I only take that halfway through like that, and I take my ribbon. I'm going to have to do it this way because that's wet. And I put the loop through like this. Okay. Then I take the other ribbon and I put it through there. And then I'm going to pull this one tight. Maybe. I got to grab the right one. There we go. So I just pull that tight like that. And it will hang. I'll tie a bow. I have to be careful because this is wet. And so my box will look like that. So that's my neighbor gifts for this year. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to wish each of you a Merry Christmas and a safe holiday. Enjoy your friends and family this weekend. And we will see you again next week. Until next time, everybody, happy stamping.